Ladies and gentlemen, it's week 3. Rhino, we've made it this far. We're not stopping now. Let's go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. How we doing, Rhino?
Not too bad. Can't believe y'all assholes are still listening, but thank you. And got a good one lined up here, too. Nice, sad way to start off the NFL season, but Noles didn't play, so we didn't lose. So vibes are high.
Yep. Jags lost, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think I've rounded the corner of hurt. NFL's different, Rhino. Like, you don't get as sad, right? Because the games don't mean as much.
I don't feel like we're out of the freaking playoffs after week 1. If anything,
I'm actually happy.
What I saw was promising.
Yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly.
But we'll probably get into it here once we get into our NFL part. But
ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further, Rhino, let me stop you right there. Not only did we hit 1,000 impressions on Spotify and we hit 20 subscribers on YouTube, but we are officially sponsored as a podcast. Who would have thought the day would come? But ladies and gentlemen, actually probably lady and gentlemen, I'd like to announce that we are presented to you by Tipton Tree Company. Do you need mediocre tree trimming or tree removal? Tipton Tree Company is right for you. Poor service and outrageous prices. Give us a call at 904-907-6768. One more time. That was Tipton Tree Company. Give us a call. 904-907-6768. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Tipton Tree Company. They are paying us a lot of money to say that. So
you cannot make that shit up.
You can't. They do
a damn good job.
Yeah, man. Rhino, it's tough being so big of a show now that we have sponsors. We've got someone calling in today, actually, in about 11 minutes. So just be ready to drop everything at 8:20 because we have a call in, and we're doing a salute to service episode. So little sneak peek there. Let's get it rolling, Rhino. The sponsor's out of the way. We said a little bit of a sneak peek into what's happening. What do you want to talk about first today?
Dude, so week 3, I guess, of college football. Holy cow. That was it was interesting. We'll start right off with Texas versus Michigan. I don't know your thoughts on that, but my takeaway
it got me on the board.
Texas looked damn good. I think them and Georgia right now, those are my top 2. Michigan, sort of what we expected. But I think moving forward, Texas and Georgia are going to be our 2 teams that we talk about a lot. They're going to be real good for the rest of the season. We did have the Notre Dame upset, which I was shocked about, especially after the way they came out against Texas A&M, got that big win right away. Sort of makes you question what they got going on over there. I don't know.
I think it makes me feel a lot better about our loss, the Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
And Texas, we'll get to the recap of our locks of the week, but they got me on the board. I've never been so confident in my life about a road game, about someone going in again, 2 top 10 teams. I've never been so confident in my life for whatever reason.
They dominated in a tough environment to play in too. So
100%.
The other one that sort of stood out to me was that Tennessee game. Tennessee looks freaking good. NC State, I don't think they're as good as everyone thought they were going to be, but that's a statement win for sure for Tennessee.
Dominated.
And then the other one, I think Colorado is sort of irrelevant, but since the media's around there, we got to talk about it.
Yep.
How much longer till Deion's out of a job?
Probably when Shedeur goes early second round.
Yeah. But you think about it, though, and all the money he's brought into the university as a whole. But
it's not even just the university. It's the town. I saw something per game day. I don't remember the exact number, but it's like 10 or 20 million bucks per game day that is pumped into that local economy. So there's a lot of factors at play there. It's a good question. I think the realistic, like if you're actually asking me what I think, I don't. I think as long as he wants to stay, he'll be there. He's bringing their admission or their application rate is like 500% higher than it was prior to him being there. Like
Yeah.
he's just good for business. I think it might change a little bit once Travis Hunter's gone and once Shadur's gone. Like he's losing some of that like media hype when they leave. But yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I think you're right. I was kind of hot on them. I wanted them to be good for some reason, be a cool story. As much as I think it's a lot of honey boo boo shit that they do.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily love Dion anymore because he doesn't really rep Florida State like he should. But yeah, that's a good question. I think he's there as long as he wants to be.
The other one I have for you too is since you are a Shador diehard, if they're not making a bowl game, realistically,
fake news
is he a top 10 pick if they don't make a bowl game this year? Because what I've seen so far this year, I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. Yeah, the talent might be there. You're betting a lot on talent and what he could be, but I haven't seen.
Yeah, but that's what the NFL is. That's what the draft process is. Trey Lance went freaking 3rd overall, and he's ass. Justin Fields went 2nd overall, and he's ass. Like that's what the NFL is.
Jay Fields got to win. Jay Fields got to win.
Shut your mouth. I don't even want to talk to you about Justin Fields.
Quality.
You are in love. I'm in love with Shador. You are literally.
Dude, he's just he works hard. You got to love it.
The ball almost touches the grass in his throwing motion. I don't even want to get into this with you right now. We've had this argument too many times before. He's straight garbage. He's booty cheeks. He's never going to be good in the NFL. He got bailed out. Rhino, the Steelers were the only team that won in week 1 that didn't score a touchdown. And you're saying Justin Fields is good? You are out of your fucking mind if you think Justin Fields is a good quarterback. I don't want to hear it. I think Shador has the skill set you look for. I don't think he's mobile enough to play behind a bad O-line, and Colorado might have the worst O-line in the history of college football, even after having a completely new starting 5. And I'm going to leave it there on Colorado. Rhino, real quick, I was looking back at our, other podcast. It makes a little bit of sense because it's about FSU and how, bad that hurt. But I probably said 5 times, that's all I'm going to say about FSU. And then I would come back. So I'm actually done talking about Colorado for now.
No, I got nothing else to add on them. I just wanted to hear what you had to say.
And then I didn't watch any of the Alabama game, to be honest with you.
Honestly, just to give you sort of the rundown, the score didn't reflect really how it went down. There was a lot of extra touchdowns in the end. They didn't look great. It was sort of like that USF game last year where USF was sort of in it all the way to the end, and they squeaked by. Alabama has a big one coming up this week against Wisconsin. A lot of people are hot on Wisconsin. I don't really get behind it. I think Alabama's going to do their job over there and kick Wisconsin's teeth in. But I don't know. I don't really know how sold I am on Alabama. I don't think they're one of the strongest SEC teams anymore. I'd probably put Georgia, I think Ole Miss, Tennessee, all those guys are above Alabama for sure right now.
You didn't even say Texas.
And Texas, yeah. From what I've seen so far. But
is Oklahoma good?
They're Oklahoma. I mean, they're good, but I don't think they're I'd put them
SEC good.
Yeah. I don't know. And we're still so early in the season where a lot's going to go down and a lot of stuff's going to change. We haven't seen every team show their true colors yet, but with that being said, we'll move into sort of the locks of the week.
A little recap action. But I just want to remind everyone, we do have a caller calling in, very special guest. So if we kind of, stop in the middle of nowhere, that's why. We'll get right back to it, folks. So just know that. Rhino got on the board this week, kid. I mean, huge week for me in college football. I think this is a good opportunity too to drop a little inside scoop to the podcast. Now, Rhino, we are making an impact. Okay, we are certainly making an impact in the community. we're making people rich. Okay. So someone, I'm going to protect identities here. Okay. And I really don't even think I told you a lot of detail about this, did I? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I got a little bit, not much,
Okay.
but
Well,
you got to
I'll
protect
do a
that. You got
little.
to protect the identity. It's-
Yeah, I'm gonna protect the identity here. I say that yeah. Anyways, uh, podcast was shared with a individual that me and you, Rhino, our units are like $25, right? Maybe more than that if we are ahead on our rent or something like that. And this person's units are $1,000, if not more, like probably way more than $1,000. So it gets shared with them. And then he's like, hey, you went 0-3 on your locks of the week in the first show. I'm gonna sponsor $1,000 teaser parlay of the week. And I want you to send me out of your 6 locks of the week, your best 4. I'm gonna tease them as far as I can, and I'm gonna put $1,000 on it. Okay. So the teaser was Texas teased, right? I should have pulled out the picture. It was like, you know, plus, I don't know, maybe it was like minus half a point or something. And then Tennessee was teased all the way down. And then I had Texans teased, and I had, what else did I have? Ravens teased. Okay. So it was a 4-team teaser parlay, 1,000 to win 1,000. Bang, it hits. I am taking a 20% pick cut. Okay. Um, and yeah, so I mean, not only are we entertaining ourselves and hopefully entertaining other people, but we are generating wealth with this podcast right now. So I just
yeah,
wanted to say that. Anyways, my locks of the week, I went 2 for 1 in college football. I had Texas minus 7.5, and I had Tennessee minus 7.5. Both of those cleared by a country mile. And then I'm hopping off the Colorado hype train. I had them +7 at Nebraska. Rhino, by the way, just real quick, Nebraska's like home environment
it was
looked
nuts,
badass. It looked
dude. What's with the
badass, dude.
balloons?
I
Like,
was about to say the balloons were sick. I
who
thought that was so
approved that?
cool.
Like, just
I
sending
don't
that
know.
much plastic up into the air.
I
Like,
know. I'm thinking about like
I want to go to
airplanes.
Nebraska. I want to go to
Yeah.
Nebraska.
I want
That
Florida
looks
State to go
sick.
play Nebraska. That'd be sick for like a season opener or something.
Yeah.
That'd be incredible.
No,
So yeah,
that was
I went 2 for 1 in college. So
yeah.
that's what I did.
No, and you were passionate about the sports betting this week.
I
I
was.
got more texts from Andrew than I have in a long time about
I had a good
just
week. I went
degenerate
positive.
bets.
Yeah.
I honestly, I had the exact opposite week. It was bad. I hung up the shoes pretty quickly after college football. Um, it was not good. I think part of the issue was Andrew was like, "Oh, he's a savant. Send me your locks." And what do? I send him
Mm-hmm.
my locks, and then freaking Notre Dame gets beat by Northern Illinois. That's the type of week I had.
Yep.
But I had Cal at Auburn. I had Auburn minus 13, which I could not have been more wrong about. I was mistaken by Auburn.
Cal
I'm
looked good.
worried as a Knoll fan about Cal. Cal
Yep.
looked really freaking good. They controlled that entire game playing at Auburn. Um, we don't have them coming up next week, but we have them the following week. So we'll break that down a little bit more next week. But Cal was good.
Yep.
Um,
They were.
and
Auburn
then
might be bad though.
yeah. I thought they would be a little bit better. They have the talent. They don't have the quarterback though.
At home too is crazy.
Yeah. And then I bought into the Michigan State young quarterback hype at Maryland. Maryland had a chance to win it. There was some bad calls towards the end too, but it ended up not going in my favor. So Maryland sucked. But I did have one hit. I had Arkansas at Oklahoma State. I had Oklahoma State -7, and they hit -8 in overtime. So I sort of got lucky. I felt the betting gods looking down on me, saying, "You need this for your confidence." So that ended up working out in my favor. Fortunately, yeah. And then my last walk, I had Oklahoma State against Arkansas. I had Oklahoma State -7. They ended up covering -8 in overtime. It was one of those where the betting gods were looking down on me. Decided to show me some sympathy and ended up working out in my favor.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, let me stop you there, Rhino. Listen, I don't know if it's Military Appreciation Month yet, but it feels like it's right around the corner, right? So we have a very special guest on today. Yeah, there you go, Tito. He's got a thanks for all you do cup. He just put on the camera. We have Stefan Padro calling in, our first ever live call in to the podcast. Stefan, why don't you introduce yourself here? Tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Well, first, before you say anything, I'm honored to be the first guest. And am I allowed to curse on here?
Absolutely.
Fuck you, JP. I made a podcast.
See, JP won't have you on his.
Yep. I lived 4 feet away from him for 3 years. Always asked him. Nope.
We are an open society and we celebrate our future troops, and JP discriminates against them is the message I'm hearing from you, Stefan.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little segment, right? We're diverging from our normal flow here. Stefan, will you because I'll be honest with you, Stefan, like I know you're going to boot camp and then you're going to flight school in Pensacola, but give us a little more detail here on what you got going on the next few months.
So I went to Florida State for 5 years, studied really hard, and I have to go to become an officer. To become a pilot, you have to get the contract before you go in. And then I got the contract. You have to take this test, which is like a SAT for aviation, basically, and you only get 3 tries. So it's a really difficult test.
Right.
And you have to make sure you do well. And I got a good enough score where I got picked up. And then
now, is that flight related? Is that AV?
Yeah, that's got math, reading, physics, aviation, throttle, like navigation.
Dude, Nick is getting excited right now. He gets a little bit acoustic for airplanes and stuff. So you're excited here.
Yep. Dude, Nick, it's not too late. You got until you're 30 to try.
Dude, I would not pass that test. I would not pass that test.
He said he wouldn't pass that test.
Dude, I didn't think I'd pass it. It took me 2 tries, but you get 3. And I passed it, and I went to I'm going to OCS Friday, which is like, it's called Officer Candidate School. And when you graduate that, you'd be an officer in the Navy. And then if you're a pilot, you go to flight school. If you're a submarine guy, you go to submarine school. You know what I mean? So it's like, but you have to do that before anything. And then.
So OCS is like boot camp for officers?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
It's 13 weeks long in Rhode Island.
Oh, shit.
And, you learn how to, you get hazed and all that, but you come out a better person.
This is bro love, Stefan. It might be a little sus, but I gotta say that like the jawline and the videos I've seen of you doing like beer funnels and stuff, it's looking sharp. So have you been working out? Have you been preparing?
I've been running a little bit, but wow, that was the nicest thing that's ever been said to me.
The shitty part about getting in good shape is you get more compliments from dudes than you do from chicks.
Only dudes.
You know?
It's literally only dudes.
Yeah, but whatever. You know, like that's what you do it for. It's the bro love.
2024.
So anything else on the next couple of months?
No, I mean, I won't have my phone at all. So I won't have my phone for like 10 weeks.
Like no access at all?
Damn.
I'll have no idea what is happening in the world.
Oh my God.
We'll be going
what a crazy time to do that.
Podcast.
And and then the election is going to be crazy there because I don't even know. I guess I have to do an absentee vote.
Right.
Ballot, which it's probably going to get counted wrong or whatever.
Yep.
But
you're voting for Kamala, aren't you?
Yep.
Unreal, Stefan.
So it's going to be pretty interesting seeing all those people there and how they react to the election. I'm sure they'll let us watch them. I mean, they have to.
So you'll be in OCS when whoever wins is, and this is a little precursor. We're going to talk a little bit about this. You'll be in OCS when that happens?
Yep.
Oh my God, dude. That's wild, brother.
I'm predicted to come home around December 15th.
From OCS, and then you'll be home for a little bit and then go to flight school?
Yeah, I'll be home for the holidays, and then
nice.
When the New Year starts, I'll be out.
You're going to have yourself a good little holiday, I bet, when you get back. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. I'm doing I did the math. 104 days hard.
Nice. Dude, you're gonna be yoked when you get back. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm gonna black out off a fireball shooter.
and rumple shots at Surfer.
No, dude, I don't think I could handle a surf lax in 3 months.
I don't think you could either at all. So
it might be put on a ventilator.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Just test the waters before you go fully into the military. So, all right, we're going to thank you for sharing there, Stefan, because I'm actually, all jokes aside, like, very proud that you're doing that. And I think it's amazing. Right. And I wish you nothing but the best, but we're going to have a little fun, right? We're going to, the fact that you're going to be essentially a ghost for 10 weeks, we're going to talk about a few predictions. And once your input, and we'll have you back on when you get back, brother. So
we'll see how wrong I was.
Yeah. And I'll try and do like some funny edits where it's like black and white with your voice and how confident we sound. So why don't we just kick it off with the election? What do you think? Give me like I want a little bit of in-depth, like how it goes down, what happens with it, what happens when, say, Trump loses, or what happens when Kamala loses? Are there riots? Like what are you feeling here?
I think whoever wins, it's going to be a close one. I think the world has realized that both of these candidates aren't the perfect candidates, but I think Trump edges out Kamala in this.
He edges.
He edges, yeah. He'll edge hard.
Okay.
And I think he's got her there. But it's no matter what, people are going to be pissed everywhere.
Yes.
And there's going to be claims on both sides, whichever way it goes. But I think if Trump doesn't win, I think some bad stuff's going to happen.
Are you going to still join the military if Trump loses?
Well, I don't have a choice up there.
You're going to be serving.
It would suck if I came out and my boss was Kamala.
You have to look at a picture of her on the wall every day.
Yeah, every day. Commander-in-Chief.
Hey, yeah, I mean,
there she is.
It's going to be interesting. Like,
yeah.
Our age group is all, a year or two out of college, like actually contributing to the economy now. And it's a big election for us. So it'll be interesting. I am excited to see what happens there and look back on it. And then on a little bit of a more lighthearted note, Stefan, let's see. Jags will still be playing regular season by then. Are we leading the AFC South when you get back from boot camp?
I want to say yes, but I don't think so. I think we'll be one game behind the Texans. I just see us dropping games and winning games that hard games will win, and then we'll drop some stupid games.
Like this weekend. We probably shouldn't have won, but we could have.
I'm going to be honest. Since I'm not playing fantasy or anything this year, I haven't really looked into it too much. But from that game that I saw, Brian Thomas Jr. looks sweet.
Yeah.
That was awesome to see someone actually do something.
Yep. Give me a stat line for Brian Thomas Jr. in the season.
7 touchdowns. What's the normal
Does he break the 1,000 yard?
Crazy season?
I mean, that's the question. Does he break 1,000 yards?
I think he does. I'm optimistic.
I like it. Yeah,
I know more about the Seminoles probably than the Jags right now.
That's fair. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. You said you leave on Friday?
Yep, but I'll have my phone and stuff till Sunday.
Okay.
It doesn't start till Sunday.
Is DJU the starting quarterback at Florida State when you get back?
Hell no.
I agree. At least I hope.
It's gonna be Brock.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting.
I wish with the Seminoles this year they just let Brock. I wish they didn't get DJ and let Brock develop and all those young studs.
Mm-hmm.
And then next year we would have been,
balling.
Put our balls on the table.
Yep, I agree. Just let it hang on them next year.
This team, I almost went to the Boston College game. Thank God I didn't, but
yeah, that would have been painful.
They just look soft. There's no fight. There's no Has there been a takeaway in these first 2 games from the defense at all?
No, not one.
Has there been a sack? There's maybe been one.
Maybe, and we had one That was our first passing touchdown, the one to Kentron, where he like juked people out of their shoes. I think that was our first passing touchdown in like 19 quarters of football or something.
Jeez.
I saw
That's
something on
bad.
Twitter.
That's absurd.
Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Actually, it does, I guess, because J Trav got hurt. And then
Yeah.
I guess we just ran for all of our touchdowns after that.
Yeah, but we're Florida fucking State.
I know.
We should be doing this.
Does that make – yeah, that does make sense because he got hurt in North Alabama. We probably only rushed for touchdowns after that. And then
including the bowl game too.
Florida bowl game, Georgia Tech. Yeah, how wild is that? 19 – we're Florida State, and we didn't throw a touchdown for 19 quarters. That's insane.
Yeah, it looks like shit.
Yep, we look like absolute ass. But
there's no takeaways. There's no fight. I mean, Trayshawn Ward, wasn't he our old player too?
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
He'd break 4 tackles minimum every run he had up the middle.
We don't look hungry.
It just looks soft.
It does.
Looks like it's like entitled.
Yep.
They think since they were so good last year, you should be walking the parks, but they're not at all.
100%. Yeah, it's frustrating. It hurts. Like it's been, at least you have the pleasure of not being hurt every week in fantasy. But it
was super depressing watching everyone draft. And you're just
that sucks.
That does suck.
I would have been able to draft a team and then not touch it.
Right, which you can't do, you know.
Yeah, no.
Unless you like gave someone your login to manage it for you, but
my Yahoo's connected to everything, so it'd kind of be self-sabotage.
You'd get hacked. Stefan, is Billy Napier still the head coach at Florida when you return from boot camp?
Nah. But I will say about Florida, I think they're going to go. This is crazy bold prediction.
Let's hear it.
I think they beat Texas. I don't know why. I just feel something.
Stefan, if that comes true,
that would be nuts.
It's very bold. Very bold.
That is.
They're gonna upset. Okay, maybe not Texas, but they're gonna upset someone.
No, call your shot. Call your shot.
I hate Florida. I hate Florida with all those crazy Asian nerd snobs. But
yep. How much do you hate Will Mormon?
Will Mormon, he receives a lot of hate, but I mean, he's got a good heart. He's just not a good head.
Agreed. That's nice of you to say. I think me and him have been beefing a lot recently. But it's all love at the end of the day, you know?
It is all love.
Yeah.
You know? He'll never be as tall as me, so it's...
No, that's true. How, Stefan...
Short man syndrome.
He does, big time. I mean, in that long hair, it's a little ridiculous, but...
He's going for the Kamala.
He is. God, such a Kamala guy. So are you in tune with any of the going-ons with the people that are stuck in space right now?
Stuck in space?
Have you heard about this?
I haven't heard anything about this.
There's astronauts that are stuck on the International Space Station because NASA can't get them back. Literally, and it's been that way for like multiple months now. Do you think they're back by the time you get back from boot camp?
I hope so. That sounds horrible.
I think they will not be, is my guess.
Breaking news for Stefan.
Yeah, breaking news.
Like don't they have a whole bunch of infrastructure up there? Like they got...
Oh, they're chilling.
A while.
Yeah, they're chilling. But, I mean, they're stuck in space. Imagine that. Be not very fun.
That's very deep.
What else can we predict here, Stefan? Any ideas on your end?
We can make a prediction about ourselves.
Okay.
I make a prediction about you. You make a prediction about me.
I predict. How much do you weigh right now, Stefan?
Oh, it's on National Air?
National Air. How much do you weigh right now?
I weigh 178 right now.
I bet you are 162 pounds when you get home.
Holy.
Yep. I bet you're 162 pounds when you get home.
I'm going 225 of muscle.
I mean,
hey, Rhino said he's going 225 of pure muscle. So
Really?
we're going one way or the other here.
My prediction for AMAC is that are you dating someone right now?
I am not.
I think you'll have a wifey.
You think I'm cuffed up during cuffing season?
Oh shit!
100%. You have a dog, you have an apartment, you're ready.
Oh my God. You know what? That's probably not far off, Stefan. I've got 10 weeks to make it happen.
You need
That was nice.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Any predictions for Igor over here? Just a shot in the dark.
Mr. Rhino?
Yep.
He's probably going to be Jacksonville men's basketball all-time scorer.
Okay. Like men's league?
Do you guys play in a league?
We don't. But Rhino is way down. He's down in BFE, down in Central South Florida.
Yeah.
We'll be the Lakeland Stars. Is that near Lakeland? Did I get that right?
You're in the right area.
Right
You're
area.
getting there. You're within spitting distance.
All right.
Well, hey man, it was a pleasure having you on. The good part is, Stefan, absolutely, brother. Thank you for calling in. Maybe one day we'll actually be a live show,
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
And we have a software to where you can just call in. But for now, this is how we're doing it, and it's going to be fun when you get back. Like over Christmas break time, get back on the pod and chop it up.
When does this come out?
This will be out on Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
I won't be able to hear it, but I'm excited when I get back.
You won't?
I leave Sunday, or I'll be done, or I'm incognito Sunday.
No, we moved quick.
Like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Dog, I don't play around with this shit.
Tomorrow.
I don't play.
All right.
I get this stuff edited and up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be able to listen to it, and then we'll run it back in 3 months and see what happens. That's gonna be so sick. I'm excited for that. That's gonna be very cool to look back and see.
That's good. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, have a great rest of your night, brother. We got the debate coming on in like 20 minutes, so step one of seeing what's going on there is coming up soon. And but all seriousness, dude, like wish you the absolute best. And we'll talk before you go, but thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you again.
Yeah, man. All right, brother.
Have a good night.
You too, man. See ya. That's the first live guest of all time, Rhino.
Yeah. That's pretty sick. He killed it. He killed it.
Yeah. Future U.S. Navy soldier. That's cool. That'll be interesting to see, in 3 months' time. So we will be right back, folks, because I have to pee. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. That was fun with Stefan. I peed. Rhino moved locations. He's on the Ethernet now. So we're going to be smooth as butter.
That's the goal.
That's the goal, baby. You already sound a lot crispier. I'll give it to you. So,
all right.
Just jumping back in, we recapped last week's Locks of the Week. So drum roll, please. Don't forget now, I'm hot on college football. I am hot. I'm 2 for 1 last week. 2 for 4 overall, but that, we're going to get to 500 this week. I'm very confident. Moving forward, Rhino, it's technically week 2 of football, correct?
Yeah,
or is it week 3?
Weird. So it's week 3 now. We're going into week 3. It was week 0, week 1, week 2.
We had a bye week. That's right. We had a bye week.
Yeah.
Yep. So college football locks of the week. I've got LSU at South Carolina. The line, there wasn't a lot I liked this week, Rhino, in terms of the line, but I like team.
It's a sleepy slate this week. I'm not a huge fan of what's going on, but that's college game day right there. That'll be a big game.
So that's going to be an awesome game. Big environment.
Yeah.
I like LSU in that game. I think they played, they played a really good. They should have won week 1, to be honest. They should have won that game. They kind of threw it away a little bit, kind of like the Jags did against the Dolphins. So I've got them going in. I think -7 is a lot of points. That being said, I'm going to touch on my signature teaser of the week that I am 1 for 1 on so far this season. I've made a ton of money. I've made people a lot of money on this teaser, so stay tuned in for that. But I've got them -7. That's one of my locks of the week. Memphis at FSU. Listen, I'm going to die on this hill. I'm going to die on FSU's hill because that's what I do. I am an alumnus of the university. I'm always going to rep the Noles. I've got us winning by a touchdown against Memphis. And if we don't, Rhino, God, that's going to suck. But I've got us winning by a touchdown. Line's at 6.5 at home. I mean, come on, Noles. Come on. Let's fucking do something. And then, Rhino, early on, week 1, all over the Gators to beat Miami. Last week, Lagway comes out, looks honestly phenomenal. Granted, against a high school women's varsity team. But I'm totally flipping sides. I hope Florida doesn't sniff another victory the rest of the season. I think -4 against A&M. I love their coach. I think they are a much better program in year 1 of Mike Elko's program than they've ever been in Billy Napier's 3-4 years of tenure at Florida. I think A&M comes into the swamp, which, by the way, Rhino, this is their 3rd home game in a row to start the season. Kind of insane for a team that didn't go to Dublin to start their season.
Yeah.
And I think Texas A&M comes in there, and I think they win by a touchdown at least. And the line is at -4. Sneak peek, that's also going in my teaser of the week. So recap, got LSU winning by 8 points against South Carolina. I've got FSU winning by a touchdown. I've got Texas A&M winning by 5 against Florida. So
Yeah. Now that
Rhino?
Florida game's interesting for sure. A lot of questions around that team. Do we know who's starting? Is DJ starting or Graham Mertz?
I think Mertz is going to start. Is what the feel I get from the Gator fan base, and I think they're going to be really upset about it unless they win.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, just go all in on DJ, like make the kid happy. But that's also a
That
game
schedule though
that
might
could ruin
him.
his confidence if he throws 3 interceptions against a good team.
Yep.
Like, I
Totally.
understand a little bit, but yeah, to get into my locks though, I got Ole Miss at Wake Forest. I got Ole Miss covering -23. This is their first real test of the season. They played 2 cupcake teams, but they're the number 5 ranked team in the country. They're a good team all around. This is a good time for them to sort of prove themselves. Wake Forest is coming off a bad loss. I think Ole Miss here will cover -23. This one I threw in there. So Vandy at Georgia State. I got Vandy -10. I was low on them to start off the season, but they've had 2 good wins. They've looked good. I think -10 is way too low. They're going to win by at least 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to take Vandy -10. And then I got West Virginia at Pitt, a little like rivalry here. I got West Virginia -2.5. They couldn't really run the ball against Penn State. They're going to be able to run against Pitt. There's good receivers on the outside. It's going to open up the play action pass. I want to say that over-under on this game is like 60. So there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. I just think at the end of the day, West Virginia is going to have the higher powered offense, and they're going to do more of the scoring. So I think I'm taking West Virginia in that one.
I like it. Now, Rhino, this is a question we need to ask of you for the validity of your bets, because let's be honest here, dude. I mean, you didn't have a good week last week. Okay.
Yeah.
You went 1 and 2 on your locks of the week.
Wasn't good. Yeah.
Are you picking games that I didn't pick?
Last week, I loved Texas. I mean, it doesn't matter now, but I love Texas. In terms of your picks this week,
like, are you avoiding my picks just because you don't want to overlap?
I'm avoiding them because I think Florida at home, they're going to pick up a weird one eventually, and I think this could be the weird one that Florida picks up at home. There's a lot of question marks. I think this could be one where Texas A&M, how good was Notre Dame when maybe Notre Dame's not as good as we thought. I just think this one, there's a lot of question marks. Memphis at FSU. I think FSU, if we don't win by a touchdown here, we have bigger problems. So I think FSU is a good pick on your end. I didn't throw it in my lock of the week just because of the question marks around us. But I think that's a good pick. I've got a few that I like a little bit more than that too on the slate. I think Arizona, Kansas State, that's one to tune into. Arizona's pretty good. I think they can cover the +7 touchdown Wouldn't say it's a lock, but I think they could cover.
So you just have games you like more than what
Yeah,
I pick.
yeah, I definitely have
Okay, I'm just
games
making
I
sure.
like more.
I'm just making sure
We
because I don't
overlap
want you
in
to
the
just
NFL.
avoid.
We overlap in the
Okay,
NFL. So
okay, because you can tell I didn't look
yeah,
ahead to that.
yeah,
Okay, I'm just making sure because I want the people that put weight on our picks, Rhino. We are dictating meals on the
yeah,
table for
yeah.
young individuals. So I just want to make sure that we were clear there. Thank you for clearing that up and giving me some love on some of my picks. But yeah, I think are you good to move forward to some of the key matchups here?
Yeah, and we basically covered the majority of them. That
Yep.
Bama Wisconsin game, I think Bama goes in there, they win that. I don't know about how
Hmm.
much they win by. I think it's a good statement game for Bama with all the everyone saying Wisconsin's pretty good this year. I think that could be a good one for them. Sort
Yep.
of the big one on my radar right now is that Boston College Missouri game, which it shouldn't be. Um, but Boston College won by 54 against Duquesne last weekend. Maybe Boston College is a little bit better than we gave them credit. Um,
I think they have good coaching staff.
they do.
I think Missouri's a good team. I think they're going to beat Boston College
Yeah,
handedly. But I think that could be in the lock of the week. I might throw that in the teaser of the week.
yeah. That's one
But
though
yeah,
that if Boston College can go in there and control the line, they run the ball real well. That's one that could always too get it could get a little hairy down the stretch. So that was one I was interested in. Notre Dame at Purdue. How's Notre Dame going to bounce back? That line dropped a ton. I think Notre
I
Dame.
almost put that in my lock of the week.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame bounces back here. That was one that was
You would hope
interesting.
so.
And then LSU at South Carolina. I guess South Carolina is better than I thought they were when doing a little bit of research on them. There's going to be a lot of points scored in that game. I think it's
Yeah.
just going to be who ends up getting that one or two big stops and who ends up scoring the ball quicker. And
Hey, look out for wide receiver, third year wide receiver, Nick Harbor, 99 speed in NCAA. That's the reason I
really,
chose him for my dynasty. So he's a game breaker, folks. Haven't watched a snap of South Carolina football this year, but he's a game breaker. If LSU doesn't cover, it's because of Nick Harbor. So just be aware of
they're
that.
strong.
And then real quick, I just want to throw in my teaser of the week this week, folks. Listen very closely here because again, I made people a lot of money, more money than maybe they've ever seen before last week. Again, it's going to be LSU over South Carolina. I'm teasing it as far down in LSU's favor as I can. It's going to be Texas A&M at Florida. I'm teasing A&M down as far as I can. It's going to be, I'm jumping a little bit ahead here, but we're talking NFL now. It's going to be Browns at Jags. I'm teasing the Jags down as far as I can. And then it's going to be the Buffalo Bills at Miami. Right now they're plus 2.5. I'm teasing them down to hopefully like plus 7.5 if I can get it that far. And that's my lock of the week. I'm very confident. Last week I was literally attracted to it, like on a biological level. I was attracted to my teaser of the week.
Hey yo,
This week I'm liking it. I'm liking it, right? I'm not like, in love with it, but I'm liking it. I'm going to bet it and I'll fall on that sword if need be next week. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
so now what we all been waiting for? Memphis at Florida State here. Little
Mm.
little Mike Norvell's old team coming into town.
Mm-hmm. Been waiting on this one.
Bad news yesterday with Jalen Lucas out for the season.
Yep.
The line has moved. So what I worked on our getting everything together was -4.5. Now it's a touchdown. So
Yep.
people still have little faith in the Noles, which is good. I
It
I
is.
don't know how I feel about it. Where we left off last game against Boston College, I felt that everything looked bad. Nothing looked good. I didn't have a whole lot of confidence going into the bye week, but with that being said, with the bye week, I think we might. It's the time to get our feet actually under us. We came out flat-footed to start out the season. This is a big game. I would say it's a must-win game. That's why I would also say it's good. It's a good lock of the week. We can't lose this game. or we have big problems. Big
Listen,
problems.
our season's over, even if we win this game. Unless Miami all of a sudden stinks. I think Clemson is better than what they put on film against Georgia. I think Miami is probably a little bit worse than what they've put on film so far. And that's just emotion speaking. I have nothing to back that up. That's just what I think. I think if we don't go in and win this game by multiple scores, we are cooked. We're absolutely cooked. I'm probably going to lose interest in our football team this year, which will be the first time since 2013 that I haven't been fully invested in Florida State football. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't have a whole lot to say there. Like, I think we don't really have a game to reflect on, but man, as far as, we had a bye week last week. I think if we don't come in and absolutely dominate this game from start to finish, I've got major questions to ask about just the entire way our program is being run. So I'll leave it there. I want to get into some NFL right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, because the Noles didn't play last week. So I'll just jump right into it. Like, Jags Browns, man. Like, let me just walk you through a little bit here for a second, Rhino, what my Sunday morning looked like, if you don't mind. Okay.
Yeah. So Jags Dolphins here.
Yeah, Jags Dolphins.
Oh, yeah.
I wake up on Sunday, I get the dog out for a little walk, and I feed the dog. It's 8 a.m. at this point, right? I go for a run. Okay, I'm a big runner these days, so I go for a run, get back, shower, take the dog out for another little walk, and I leave my house about 10:30 a.m. Rhino, and some of the people that might be listening here, you know how pretty of a drive A1A is from Ponte Vedra to St. Augustine. I'm sure you've made that drive before, Rhino.
Oh yeah.
So I hop on A1A. I drive up to Ponte Vedra, Jack's Beach area. I got a shaken espresso with oat milk from Starbucks, one of my favorite delicacies that involves caffeine. And I'm cruising. Lucy, upper decky Lucy, coffee, and we're cruising up A1A. Good vibes. Jags are playing. Noles didn't lose this week. Good bets. Like my teaser of the week is looking good at this point. I just need the Texans to cover at the 1 p.m. slate that day on Sunday, and I'm rich. Good vibes. So then I go to my favorite restaurant in Jacksonville. I go to Taco Lou. Switched it up though. I got brunch. I got the Dawn Patrol, which is a chorizo, egg and cheese with tater tot sort of quesadilla thing. Delicious. Got a mimosa, Rhino. I got a mimosa on Sunday morning at Taco Lou.
Damn.
Happy hour, $4. Duh. And then I go and sit down at my good buddy's house. They have a 96-inch television, Rhino, smacked up on the wall. One of the most comfortable couches you've ever sat in before. I sit in it. My belly's full. I've got Jacksonville Bud Lights, just overflowing out of the fridge. We come out, 3 and out. Not good. Not good. The next 2 quarters of football, dominant. Absolutely dominant. Trevor Lawrence looks amazing. BTJ looks amazing. Tank Bigsby looks amazing. Trayvon Walker, 2 sacks in the first half. And then we blow it, Rhino. And then we fucking blow it. And we lose. And it wasn't as bad as my drive home on A1A after the Georgia Tech FSU game. But it was close. It was very close. I was not happy driving home. I was worried, but I have rounded the corner, Rhino. I have rounded the corner of sadness. We touched on a little bit at the beginning of the show. I'm hopeful. It's the NFL. I think there are some alarm bells going off in my head about Doug Peterson. I can't lie to you. But we've got the quarterback. We've got the players. We've got the team. If Christian Kirk just catches 2 fucking balls, we probably win that game. And that's I think my take on that game. and I'm looking forward. Obviously, Jags are one of my locks against the Browns this week. I think we win that game handedly, and we move on, Rhino. We move on.
Yeah. No, I think you can't make that up right there. He actually did all that, believe it or not.
That's what it means to me, Rhino.
But yeah, I think so. I had us losing this game in my whole breakdown.
Son of a bitch.
But I think by me having us lose this game, I wasn't as upset about us losing that game because I sort of expected it. The Dolphins are a good freaking team. And we went out
from now
there,
on, if you're going to choose the Jags to lose, I need it in your locks of the week. If this is a Jaguar podcast, I need it in your locks of the week. It's only fair. I bet everyone that's listening to this agrees with me. So don't be a little girl and do it from now on.
I didn't like the line on it. I will say that. I was confident in the Jags. Our first half, we looked so freaking good. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings. I was so happy. I was talking shit to the Dolphins fans sitting behind me. And then I left at halftime, and we rounded a freaking corner. It's
Rhino, real quick, you know what you can't make up that I had today at work?
Yeah.
I go to a facility that maintains and tests experimental aircraft. Pretty cool visit, big
That's
customer. And, we do a little golf cart tour and we're driving around. I didn't see anything, crazy, or I didn't see any like spaceships, alien ships or anything. And we go back to they called it the dungeon. It's like where all the buyers sit and they've got their monitors and buy stuff. And I kid you not, Rhino, we're talking about, our company offers free offers when you buy stuff. One of them is NFL rugs. It's mats that you put down and it's NFL teams. And on the order history, I noticed a lot of Jag stuff, right? So I'm like, oh man, I love all the Jag stuff you guys are getting from us. I look down and there's a Jags carpet to my right and I'm standing on a Dolphins carpet. I mean, you can't make it up, Rhino. I'm standing on a Dolphins carpet right next to a Jags carpet. And I had to thank them for their business. I wanted to sucker punch them in the face, but I didn't because I value my job.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sorry. I had to say that. It was too ironic. It was too painful. It's crazy.
I've just been listening to Jags radio like all week, and there's a lot of angry fans. I'm not angry. I felt like our defense looked pretty good. I wish our defensive line was a little bit better. I know Trayvon got the 2 sacks, but I feel like Tua had all freaking day. And when we're playing man against Tyreek and Waddle, these fast ass motherfuckers, you can't have all day to throw the ball. Like Tua was just playing dink and dunk football and letting these guys run for 240 yards after the catch or whatever.
Doug said they ran that same play all day long.
And
we finally just got caught,
And I don't know. It hurt. The way we lost hurt really bad because we won that game up until we did it. Like that game was ours. It was a weird, like Tyreek freaking got arrested before the game. It was just a weird, it was a weird state.
You knew as soon as that happened, we were cooked. You knew as soon as that happened.
Oh yeah. I hammered the over on his yards. I was like, it just, that kind of stuff doesn't happen and you don't.
That is so degenerate of you. Dude gets arrested and put on the ground and you hammer his over yards. That's hilarious. Oh my God, you were degenerate. That's beautiful.
It only felt right. It only felt right.
Hey, fair enough, brother. Fair enough. Well, do you want to move into our locks of the week here?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the Giants anymore. Let's go.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the Browns. I think that's a get back game. I think Deshaun, just quickly touching on that, Rhino, I watched a post game interview of his. Oh, also, he might be a psycho. Did you see the news article about him?
He's insane. I heard
he might be a psycho.
I read something funny. It was like, with how bad of a person he is, he's an even worse football player, which is correct. It's like there's not a big difference, but it's it's messed up. Like that guy is sick in the head.
Yeah, there was a story where he just to summarize it real quick, and this is why the Jags are my lock of the week. I mean, God would not allow the Browns to beat the Jags at home on Sunday in front of our hometown crowd for the home opener. Deshaun Watson in 2020, this is a new allegation outside of the big thing that went on. I guess he had like a date or something, and he knocks on the door. The girl doesn't have her makeup done yet, so she lets him in. And, she goes in the bathroom, leaves the door open so they can, chit chat while she puts her makeup on. Watson proceeds to strip naked, lay belly down on the bed, and request that she massage him. But it wasn't just a massage. It was, he would point to his buttocks and request that she massage his arse. And after she refused, he flipped over, revealing I'm sure you can guess what he had going on because he's a sicko when he rolled over. And anyways, he apparently proceeded to sexually assault her. And the girl eventually, gets out of that scenario, grabs like a lamp or something, and demands he gets out of the room. So he is absolutely out of his mind. I think he might actually be like deranged. I think he might be an actual sicko. And then now his shoulder's all messed up. So back to football, like not only is he a bad dude, but like his body's bad and he's bad. I think we win that game right now.
Yeah.
I think we win that game.
I think it's so
Now,
funny.
if Jameis comes in, we might be cooked.
Yeah. Don't get us started on that.
Yeah.
I think that guy, dude, that guy is sick. I think it's hilarious
He's
how
sick
he
in the
has
head.
that tattoo too, where it's like all his accomplishments and he left that like one gap open for the Super Bowl. He's never winning a freaking Super Bowl.
Ain't gonna happen.
He's got to fill that in with something else.
Fill it in with a picture of him in a prison jumpsuit. That's what's going to happen when he's done with the league.
But yeah, any other week one takeaways? Any big teams or anyone that caught your eye?
Isaiah Likely obviously is maybe the best tight end in football right now. What else? What else caught my eye? Joe Burrow might be bad. He might just not be good at football.
See, I
anymore.
didn't watch any of that game. I heard the Patriots
his wrist
was good, but
yeah, Patriots look good. His wrist, like the whole game, he was like massaging his wrist and like doing this kind of a thing with it, like rotating it, and just didn't look good. I think Brock Purdy's good at football. I do. It was fun to see Aaron Rodgers back. I watched like the first half of that game last night.
I think too.
That's really it for me.
Honestly, the Cowboys sort of surprised me. I know they were playing the Browns and Deshaun looks like shit.
Zeke's back.
But they pay Dak Prescott and then that guy just goes out there and balls. I think they're going to be a good team this year.
They will be. I would be happy to see the Cowboys make it to the Super Bowl. I really would. Yeah. It doesn't affect the Jags at all. I think it would be cool to see a team that has been, expected to be good for so long and always underperform. Somehow with the same quarterback that has let them down so many times, I think it would be cool to see them be good. I don't know why. Like, I don't love the Cowboys or anything, but I think it would be cool to see that team kind of break through personally.
Yeah. No, I agree for sure. Other takeaways, the Panthers still look god-awful. Imagine being a Panthers fan waiting this entire offseason for week one, and that's how you come out.
Bryce Young is bad.
Dude. So, all right, they're basically early here, but they're going to have the first pick.
Yep.
I imagine they're replacing Bryce Young.
They have to.
Who's your early replacement?
Number one pick
for Bryce Young?
Quinn Ewers.
All right. Yeah, valid.
Quinn Ewers. I think he's a good fit there. Him and he's a good little country boy from Texas, and get him and Xavier Leggett together, and I think they're going to be good. I really do.
Really hit it on the head there for sure.
Yeah, I think the best team from week one. Obviously the Niners looked good. Cowboys are probably the best team. Worst team, Panthers. Sleeper
I would
teams
say
are
the
the Jags.
Chiefs sort of surprised me too. I didn't
Yeah,
expect
Chiefs
them
looked
to
really good.
come out as good as they did, but that was a
Mm-hmm.
tough Baltimore team to play. Baltimore's got a lot of stuff to figure out. That was my big takeaway from that game is
They'll be a good
Baltimore's
team.
they'll be good, but I feel like they didn't have everything figured out, like just in terms of their sets and all that. I don't know. It was a weird game for
They
Baltimore.
easily win that division. They easily win that division.
Yeah.
No questions asked. What is it? The Steelers, the Browns, and the
Bengals.
Bengals? Is
Yeah.
that division?
Yeah.
Yeah, they easily win that division. I think the Bengals are going to regress this year quite a bit. Not that they were great last year, but
Yeah.
and then just I wanted real quick, Rhino. I think we might have gotten one of those dudes in Brian Thomas Jr. I really do.
Yeah.
Um,
He looked
he
good.
looked really good. He looked really good. And I just want to kind of pump my own tires here. About 5 minutes before kickoff, I took Brian Thomas Jr. over yards, and I took Brian Thomas Jr. over yards parlayed with 1 touchdown. Both hit, obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we got a guy. I really do. I think if we try and feed him and design some plays for him more, I think he's one of those guys, Rhino. Like he's not okay. Take this with a grain of salt, but like Tyreek, we were doubling him all day, and eventually he found his spot. Like he went for 130 and a tutty. I think Brian Thomas Jr. has that kind of speed and that wiggle and that route running where,
Dude, the
know,
pass interference he drew on Jalen Ramsey, like that's a veteran play. I would say he came out the best out of all the rookies.
I agree.
Tremendous amount of bias, but he looked like the best rookie, like ready to go.
He looked
rookie.
awesome.
Yeah,
he looked awesome. Like he ran that one. It was like a deep curl, but he like faked a post and then he faked a corner and then he just sat down.
Yeah.
But he catches it. That's the nice part. Like he catches with his hands. He's got like the possession receiver reliability with the speed of Jalen Waddle. Like he's that fast. He's literally just that fast.
Yeah. To get 2 feet down on that touchdown too, like that's a lot of thing. Like rookies in their first game, like they're stepping out of bounds on that. Like he got 2 feet down. He's a stud. He'll be good.
I'll try and put it in the episode here. Did you see like the all 22 angle of that throw and catch?
No, I didn't.
You're not on Twitter really, but it was all over Twitter. It was by far the best throw of the week. Trevor,
I saw the throw. The throw was sick. He led him.
Yeah, I'll put it in. I'll put it in here, but like Trevor had no business throwing that ball. And it couldn't have been more perfect. Like you could not throw a better ball than that. If you throw it short, it's definitely picked. You throw it a little bit long, it's out of bounds, not caught. Like incredible play. I think obviously we're biased, but I think the media, like from what I've seen on Twitter and YouTube, like BTJ looked good. And I saw something. He had the most out of all rookie wide receivers. It might have been, I don't know, it was all receivers, period. He had the most EPA, expected points added, per route run out of any receiver in the NFL in week 1. Every time Brian Thomas Jr. ran a route on a passing snap, he was technically the best receiver in football, like from a advantage standpoint on a play. So pretty cool. I think that's a good segue into a little recap of our locks of the week in the NFL. I'm going to just run through mine. I went 0 for 3. That brings me to what 2 for 9 on the season combined. So Rhino, also we got to figure out what our punishment is.
We'll
here.
divide up NFL and college.
Yeah, nope. We're throwing it all together. We are not dividing up. It's going together. And I'm willing to wager. Are you willing to wager a bando? Are you willing to wager $100 on who has a better record at the end of the season?
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, shake on it. It's here for the world to see and to recognize. We have officially put $100 on the season-long locks of the week record. So I'm starting in the hole. I'm 2-9
and NCAA.
Oh no! I have a dog to feed. Relax. It's combined here, kids. So, anyways, I had Ravens over Chiefs at +2.5. It looked really good for a while there. And it just didn't happen. So lost that one. I had Jags at Miami. I had Jags money line, Although, Rhino, technically, supposedly, your locks of the week have to be, spread. But that being said, they were the dog. So, and I called them money line. So blah, blah, blah. Lost that one. Texans at Colts. I had Texans -2.5. That was a weird game. I honestly didn't watch a whole lot of it because the Jags were on. But I'm surprised at the Colts. I really should go back and watch the condensed game of that. I might do that tonight.
Yeah.
Just because those are our two biggest worries in the division.
Yeah.
And obviously that did not hit. That was a nail biter the whole way.
Yeah, I didn't watch a whole lot of that either. From what I heard, I heard Anthony Richardson played pretty good.
That one throw he had was insane.
Yeah,
where he slipped.
I
and
was
just flicked it
real
70 yards.
Freaking nervous after watching that. But
no, whatever. That's one play.
Yeah. On my end, I had Bills versus Cardinals. I had the Bills -6.5. They covered -6.
Cardinals look good.
Stupid 2-point conversion by the Cardinals down the stretch ruined it for me.
Yep, bad beat.
Yeah, I hit on the Cowboys at the Browns. I had the Cowboys +2.5, and I said sprinkle on the money line there. That crushed it. That was an easy, probably the best one of the week.
That was a weird line. That was a really weird line. That was like a trap line.
Yeah.
That was as free of a bet as you had all week right there.
And then I had probably the second best bet of the Commanders at the Bucks. I took the Bucks -3, and that was we didn't sweat.
Baker looked awesome.
At all. The Bucks look good. I think I have them winning that division. I got them in my division parlay. They're easily walking away with that division.
That's another thing I'll say. After week one, obviously it's week one, but we're 6.5% of the way through the season.
Yeah.
My division winner parlay, which I've coined house ownership parlay of the century, allow me to buy a house if it wins. I think it's like $10 to win 110,000. It's absolutely in play after week one. From what I saw from the teams, from the records, it's in play. So I just wanted to drop that in there. Now, drum roll, please. Week 2 NFL locks of the week. Again, nothing other than Jags at Browns. Nothing, and actually Buffalo at Miami. Nothing really jumped off the page at me here. Okay. So I've got, Browns at Jags. I've got Jags -3. Don't forget that's the teaser of the week. Tease that as far down as you can. I think the Jags cover that. I think we come back angry. I think we finish this game. I think we win by maybe 10 points here. Is kind of what I'm calling. Chargers at Panthers. Chargers -6.5. I think the Chargers weren't able to get their offense going last weekend. But I think they get it going. I think the defense played really well against the Raiders, and I think they come out and they put it on the Panthers. I think Bryce Young is just god awful. And I don't care if they're at home. I don't think there's going to be very many fans to make that a home field advantage. I think it's going to be very quiet. Defense travels. John Harbaugh is a great coach. I think they win that game. Buffalo at Miami. Something I've realized, Rhino, especially in the NFL, home field advantage, you can factor that in to be 3 points, right? Just for whatever reason, that's how Vegas looks at it. I noticed during our game against Miami that the crowd was actually pretty loud, especially when they're coming off a win. So I feel like that's going to be a packed game against the Bills, division rival. +2.5, that technically means that Vegas has Buffalo winning that game. So I've got Buffalo covering 2.5 there. The only caveat is Josh Allen got a little banged up on that left hand, but it is the left hand, so I don't think it factors in that much. I'm definitely betting Keon Coleman anytime touchdown in this game because I think it's going to be a shootout. So yeah, I've got Jags -3 against the Browns. I've got Chargers -6.5 against the Panthers, and then my only road dog of the week is Buffalo at Miami +2.5.
Yeah, I'll go right in. So I got Browns at Jags. I agree with you. I think the Jags cover this -3. This is a must-win game. Must win for the sake of the fan base. I'd honestly say for Doug Peterson too. He needs to win this game. What are we like? We're 5-6 or 6-7 in our last 7 games or something like that.
He needs to back up his petty ass press conference that he had yesterday. It was, I don't know if you watched that. He was very pissy and annoying, and it pissed me off.
I think he's angry. I think our fan base, everyone's freaking angry here. We have a goddamn sex offender coming in to play us.
We do.
Into the city of Jacksonville. We cannot freaking lose this game.
And we have a damn jail across the street. We should put him in after the game.
We have to win this game. And then also, too, we got two tough ones coming up here with going to Buffalo. And then,
which I'll be at. Don't forget, folks. I'll be at.
Shout out Andy. And then also going to the Texans. Those are two tough games. This is a must win, especially the way we dropped last week. I think we have to win this game. I'm confident putting in my locks of the week. There is bias, but I'm saying that with full confidence. My other one, I have Jets at Titans. I'm taking the Jets -3.5. I think that defense is good. The Bears defense was mediocre and made Will Levis look stupid.
Will Levis sucks. I'm not worried about the Titans one lick.
I think Aaron Rodgers gets his first win coming back from that Achilles. Garrett Wilson looked good. Breece Hall looked good, and they're going to get those playmakers open in some space. I think that's going to be a beatdown. They're going to win by at least a touchdown.
I'll be honest. I think I meant to put that in my locks of the week, and I forgot about it. Yeah. So consider that my honorary. Like I wholeheartedly agree with you on that one.
And then my last one here, I got Falcons at Eagles. I got Eagles -6.5. Shout out Tyler Time, even though he wasn't here today. I think the Eagles looked pretty good. They played on a bad field against a good Packers team. And I think Saquon looks really good. He fits into that offense real well. The Falcons looked horrible. Kirk Cousins wasn't stepping through any of his passes.
No, that Achilles still bothering him.
And they struggled bad with the Steelers. That Eagles offense is going to have no problem scoring the ball, and then also too that the Eagles defense is going to shut down Kirk Cousins. It's going to be a rough game for the Falcons. So I'm confident with the points there. Give me that -6.5. They'll win by at least a touchdown, maybe two.
I agree. I love it, Rhino. Yeah. I love it. I think it's going to be exciting. We got the Noles back. We got the Jags back. I think we kind of covered everything in terms of Noles and Jags. So I think it's a good time to move forward to I know I enjoy the hell out of this segment of the show. That's kind of how we've been closing off the shows, and I think we're going to keep it that way. We're going to move into the Q&A, and I don't know if you saw, but we got a couple buzzer beater questions in here, Rhino. We had a bunch of people submit questions today, like less than an hour before the show started. So I'm just going to roll right into it. I'm going to go from top down what we got in here. So question number 1, this is from Duncan Yale. To what extent, type of crime would you commit to see the Jags make a Super Bowl? Rhino? Get explicit here.
Man, I don't even have time to think about that. Dude, I don't know. I think, are we talking like I'm going
for the Jags to make a Super Bowl? What would you do?
See, I think there's
what would
a
you
lot
do,
of
Rhino?
things.
You're walking down the street. What are you gonna do?
Dude, I'd be honest. I'm probably going
capital murder.
Hell no.
You wouldn't murder someone? Okay.
I'd light a few cars on fire.
Mm-hmm. That's a great answer. Stop at your Circle K, fill up a jerry can with some fuel, get a little Bic lighter while you're at it.
It's a tough one to commit to a crime on the spot like that, but I'd light a few cars on fire for that.
It's hypothetical. We're not getting in trouble. I'll tell you what I would do right now. You want to know?
You've been thinking about this.
I haven't been, but whenever I think of crime and making fun of something, I like to think about my good college roommate Ryan Giblin. Um, so I would break into Ryan Giblin's house. For those of you that don't know, Ryan Giblin is diabetic and he requires on insulin to survive. I would break into his medicine cabinet and I would steal all of his insulin. And then I would pop the tires on his vehicle so that he cannot go to the store to get more insulin. And that's what I would do, which I guess would be like manslaughter or something, but that's what I would do for the Jags
Andrew goes
to
with
win the Super
freaking
Bowl.
murder.
I'm going with murder. That's how far I would go for the Jags. Was it to win a Super Bowl or is it to make a Super Bowl? Oh, God, it's only to make a Super Bowl? Ooh, I don't know if I would murder for that. It's Ryan. Yeah, I would do it. Whatever. I would do it. I wouldn't murder him, but I would steal his insulin and make him work really hard to survive, which I'm sure is some sort of crime.
Dude,
prevent someone
hats
from
off to
taking
you for
insulin.
coming up with that on the spot.
Thank you.
That was honestly impressive.
It's where my brain goes. All right, moving forward here, we have a question from my good friend Patrick Hall, who is also a future U.S. Army soldier. With week 1 coming to, I just spit all over my screen. That was awesome. With week 1 coming to an end, what are your super early Super Bowl predictions, teams, and final score? God, Rhino, do you have any thoughts there?
Honestly, so 49ers again for me.
Okay.
I said the Ravens before the season started.
Yep.
I'd probably move it back to the Chiefs. I think we're
Chiefs.
getting a rematch here.
Yeah.
And in this one, I have the 49ers coming out on top. I see it a little bit different. I see it a more high scoring. Give me 36.
Interesting.
Not 36. Give me 28-21. 49ers win it.
All right. I mean, I'm going off of week 1. My pre-season prediction was Rams Jags. I'm going Cowboys Chiefs. And I think the Chiefs win that game. I think they win it convincingly. I think they win 27-14. That's my Super Bowl prediction. Chiefs over the Cowboys. And then bonus question from Patrick Hall. Which NFL athlete do you think would make the best president of the United States and why, Rhino?
I missed you. We broke up there.
Which NFL athlete do you think would make the best president of the United States and why, Rhino?
Justin Fields.
You son of a
he's
bitch.
got
You
that
are so dumb.
freaking grit. He's got the freaking
Dude, his eyes are on the side of his head. How is he going to be the president?
He's the leader.
He literally looks like a goldfish. How is he going to be the president?
No, I'm going back to week 1. Give me Max Crosby. Even though he's my killer, I think he is also fit to lead this country. That boy is different.
Listen, this is the obvious answer here, and I think if anyone thinks differently than me, they are dead wrong. It's Brock Purdy. He is the quintessential American white boy. Clean cut. He's from what is it? Where is he from, Rhino? Is he from like Iowa or something, or like Indiana? I feel like he's just a blue collar. He's from like a liberal state, but he kind of gives you like Republican vibes. He can unite the country. He's clean cut. I mean, he's married. He's young. He's successful. He didn't take a big contract. He's playing on his rookie deal. He's not greedy.
Arizona.
It's Brock Purdy. Is he from Arizona?
Yeah.
That's a liberal state, but he gives you Republican vibes.
Creek.
I like it. All right, we've got a little bit of a rapid fire from one of our most devout listeners and one of my favorite people to answer their questions. Jay Howell is back with some banger questions. I know it's only 2 weeks, but who has been the most successful team yet to date? Rhino?
I'm going Texas and Alabama. Well, not Texas and Georgia. Those are my 2 big dogs. I'll stand by that. I think they're easy in the playoffs, and that's probably who we're going to see at the end of the season playing for a championship.
Nice. Well, you went college. I'll go NFL. I'm going Cowboys and the Niners. I think and the Chiefs. And the Chiefs. I know Jay, you asked for one, but I'm going a three-peat here. I think those teams. I think the Cowboys exceeded expectations. The Niners kind of did what you expect them to do, and then the Chiefs, like they just keep getting better, and it's scary. So moving forward, I actually love this question because it's Jags related. But Rhino, you know how I feel about Trayvon Walker. The question is, can Trayvon Walker make a year 3 leap?
I think he has to. I think he saw Josh Allen get his Josh Hines Allen. Forgive me, sorry, Josh. I think he saw that contract he got, and it lit a fire under his ass. So I do think he does make a leap. I don't know if it's as big of a leap that's going to earn a huge contract. I think he's good. Um, I'm not as passionate about him as you are. But I think he's a good player, and we I would say the Jags, we need him to be good this year if we're going to make any type of noise. We need our defensive line to look a lot better than just Josh Allen. So we need him to be good as a Jags fan. We can't afford for him not to be good. But I think he does make a leap. I don't know how big it is, but I think he does come out to play this year.
Let me just correct you. Yeah, he had 2 sacks in week 1. You idiot. He's already made the leap. He's a physical force. Okay, he dominates in the run game. He was the highest rated edge player against double teams. And Rhino, you want to know what the caveat to that stat is? He was the most double team player in football in week 1, Rhino, and he was the best against the run, and he had 2 sacks. He's made the jump. It's not a question. Yes, Jay, he will, and he has, and he's a dog, and he's better than Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson is a dirty player. He's a dirty, dirty player, dirty cheater. Trayvon Walker plays the game by the rules. He dominates people. He bull rushes people into the dirt. He gets 2 sacks. He plays the run aggressively. He's a freaking beast, Jay. Great question. Third question by Jay Howell. By losing Kadarius Toney, does that help or hurt the Chiefs? Another like when you really think about it, that's a great question. What like does it hurt them or does it help them? What do you think?
I'm going. Didn't he just sign a contract somewhere weird too? I'm going. It helps him. He didn't play well with the way the Chiefs play, and you got to be on Andy Reid's good side if you're going to do well in that offense. Like Andy Reid's got to like you, and Andy Reid was not a fan of Kadarius Toney. He could get away
100%.
playing for some other team and doing a little gadget plays here and there. He's a Gator at the end of the day. It's sort of, we expect
Fuck
that
him.
from Gators, to drop passes, to let
Keep
people
that in mind,
down.
Jay.
It's a part of being a Gator as a whole.
What they're coached to do.
So I think the Chiefs really dodged a bullet. Anytime you get a Gator off your roster, you do. It's good. Good job.
It's good.
Shout out to the Chiefs.
Yep. I mean,
So
look at
that's
Jawan
my
Taylor
answer.
jumping off sides every play. Another Gator. Yeah, Jay, I'm going to go somewhere in the middle here. I don't think it matters. I think if there's any team in the league that Kadarius Toney could have been successful on, it was the Chiefs. And he was successful at times, but he also sucked at times. I don't think it matters. I guess the answer to your question is it helps them because you don't have someone that's just going to drop wide open passes. I don't think it matters. It's the Chiefs. They're good. Kadarius Toney sucks. Moving on. Like they're good. They're gonna go win ball games. First time, and I should be saying this about if it's a first time question or not. Duncan, that was a first time question submission. Thank you, sir. Zach Blair, first time question. A couple of them. Is it time to let Brock play if DJU struggles against Memphis? This is going to be a quick answer, Nick.
Yep, 1,000%. It was. I was ready to let him play last week.
I was ready to let him play before the season started. Next question. Did we Jimbo Fisher ourselves with Norvell? No, we did not. Rhino?
I pray to God, no. I think not Jimbo. I think Norvell's elite. He's a good coach. He's a good leader. I just think this team that we have as a whole right now is we just missed a lot. We missed a lot in the transfer portal. We don't look good. I think I'm interested to revisit this question in a couple weeks, maybe after Clemson, when we'll have a little bit more to go off of. But I think Norvell's legit. I'm going to hold off on him. If he loses this week to Memphis, then we might be having a different conversation.
No, we didn't Jimbo Fisher ourselves, Zach Blair, because Jimbo didn't take over a dynasty. Not that we were that great in the early 2000s, but he didn't take over a Bobby Bowden-led program. Mike Norvell took over a Willie Taggart-led program. And if Jimbo was able to win a natty 4 years after Bobby retired in 2009, what do you expect Norvell to do? I would guess double that. I would guess it's going to take 8 years for Norvell to win a natty. Now we need to look a hell of a lot better than we did in the first 2 years, the first 2 games for us to, keep Norvell around. But no, I don't think we did. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good human, which I don't know that you can say that for Jimbo per se on some things. I know his son has that blood disease or bone disease or whatever, and it is what it is. But no, I don't think we did. Good question. And then finally, is Trevor Lawrence actually the prince who was promised, or are we paying him for what he did at Clemson?
I think that pass to Brian Thomas is my answer. Once we get that clip in,
he is the prince. He is the prince that was promised. He's our savior. He will bring a Super Bowl to Jacksonville. I'm very confident in that. I'm more confident in Trevor than I am in Doug right now. I'll leave you with that bombshell. Moving forward, another question from Cameron Permuka, and the kid just drops bangers every week. I gave him some crap last week. Is Deshaun Watson, and Rhino, this ties into what you mentioned earlier in the show, is Deshaun Watson a better player or a better person? What do you think?
See, it's my answer is like it's marginally. Like I'm going he's a better player, especially with what's going on right now.
That's the only answer.
But he's not
dog
a good,
shit.
he's not
terrible at football.
He is not a good player at all.
No, he's
that's
not.
Good question. Good question.
Great question. All right, so this is a question from the sponsor of our podcast, Luke Tipton, aka Tipton Tree Company. And last week, I got going on the question. I couldn't say it. I don't want to get people really upset with some of the stuff we cover. So Luke sent this question in, and he titled it "Politically Correct Podcast Question," which I appreciate. Luke, thank you for being a sponsor of this show. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for sending in questions every week. Luke's question is, what's the biggest number you know?
You want to rip that one first?
$999 $999 billion, $999 $999,000, 999. I'm lost now. You get what I'm saying here. It's a lot of nines. Yeah. What would that be? Would that be 12, 15 nines? That's the biggest number I can think of, other than infinity or like Google or something. That's what I'm going with.
But infinity is not like
not a number.
I don't know a bigger number that, and then infinity is not a number. So I think you nailed it on the head.
I think that's the answer.
There's no agreement here. The only
Luke,
number
I'd love to know
number I'm
what bigger number
right now is 16. I'm only thinking about 16.
As in Trevor Lawrence?
And that's all I have on my mind. Going to be Deshaun
As in Watson. Trevor Lawrence?
Yep.
Love it. Great answer there. Moving forward, we have a question from the first ever live guest on the Igor and Big Head podcast. Stefan Padro, ladies and gentlemen, do you think a normal soccer player could kick an extra point in a collegiate game? I'm just going to answer that. Yes. What do you think, Rhino?
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of colleges would be fortunate if someone came in and started kicking field goals instead of their regular kicker.
Yeah, I think the FSU team, although we have a dog at kicker, Ryan Fitzgerald, I think our women's soccer team could make a couple PATs for us. And then bonus question from Stefan: is Jarian Jones supposed to be a stud? And which FSU players from the 2020 class do you think will have the best year in the NFL? Yes, Jarian Jones is. I don't know that he's supposed to be a stud. Like, he was an under the radar player at Florida State, even. Like, he was kind of a guy that we all made fun of until Norvell developed him. All I'll say is his first play of note in the NFL was covering Tyreek Hill one-on-one on a go ball. And he absolutely clamped him and pushed him out of bounds. So, yes, I think he's going to be a good player. Players from the 2023 season, I think it's him and I think it's Jared Verse that are going to be really, really good year one in the NFL.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm super hot on Jarian Jones. I loved watching him all preseason, and then he got me real excited on when we played Miami. But I think Jared Verse is the one that a lot of people are talking about. There's a lot of media around him. I think we should expect him, which is a given. I think we should expect him to have a big year. But I think Fisk right on that line as well too. I think he's another one that he didn't get as much hype in the offseason, but I think a lot of people are hot on it. I was hot on him coming into the draft. I think he could have a pretty good year. That defense is going to need to be good, especially with Puka going out now. That defense is going to need to be good, and that's a good team. So if he can step in and play well, it'll be impressive.
Absolutely. So that is it for Stefan. Now, this is another first-time question, okay? This is a special question to me. This is my 8th grade, Gabe, forgive me if I'm wrong, but this is my 8th grade social studies teacher, I think. I think that was the subject. And, he's turned into just a big fan of the podcast. He's turned into, honestly, a great friend of mine. And it's a pleasure to have you reach out, with a question for the podcast, Gabe. And he actually shared it, funny enough, Rhino, with my 8th grade science teacher, Tony P., the GOAT, one of the coolest teachers I've ever had. So, Mr. P., if you're listening, thank you for listening, and hope you're doing well. But, Gabe, hey, guys, big fan here. Just had one question for you. Who do you trust less to complete a touchdown pass? DJ Ooga Booga to a guy who is wide open by 15 yards, or JP Lynch playing college football 25 on freshman difficulty? Gabe, I'll just tell you, I played JP many games, and I curb stomped him. Like, could have been filed a police report how bad I curb stomped him. I'm taking Ooga Booga with a 15-yard separation with his receiver all day. I mean, JP is he's not a gamer anymore. He thought he was good at Warzone. He's not. That's just that's all I got to say there, Gabe. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I'm going Ooga Booty to the wide open receiver. I've heard JP, he's bad. He's holding the remote upside down and stuff. That kid he's a special case. I don't think there's any shot he wins in NCAA. So
if he was an electric guitar, he wouldn't be an electric one. He'd be an acoustic one, But yeah, moving forward, we have a repeat question from very, very good fan of the show here, Corey Whitehead, part 1. He's one of the only people to label his questions. Will FSU women's b-ball have a better season than the men's team? Rhino, I'm going to let you answer this one first.
Dude, you are sick for that. I don't know jack shit about. I actually don't know shit. I'm going. They will be. I think that it is time for our boy Leonard Hamilton to hang up the shoes. He's an old guy. He's his time's up. I don't love our team as a whole, so I'm just going off the fact that I know that our men's team is not going to be good. So, but shout out to Corey for the investment in the women's basketball.
I'm sick of Corey. I'm sick of these questions demeaning FSU. Corey, you are a country boy from the rolling hills of Illinois. You should be a Hoosiers fan. You should be a Illini fan. Why are you a UNC fan? That's just bandwagon as hell. And then you have the nerve to talk shit about Florida State.
He's the only Notre Dame UNC Miami fan I have ever met in my life.
Out of this world, Corey. You know what? We could dedicate a whole segment to your idiotic fan choices. You're a Miami Dolphins fan. You're a UNC basketball fan. And then just because, we say our prayers at the end of the night, you're a Notre Dame fan. It makes no sense, Corey. I'm sick of the slander against Florida State. I'm at my wit's end with it, Corey. To answer your question, the men's team is going to be better. I don't like this discrimination of you thinking that the women's team is going to be better. Look, I hope they're both good. Okay. I hope they're both good. The men's team brings in more money, Corey. I want them to be good. That's my answer. God, Corey, getting me fired up at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday night. Part 2 to Corey's question. Way too early prediction. NCAA men's b-ball champs. If you say Duke, I can't say the rest of that question. Anyways, my prediction is Duke, Corey, just because you said not to. I think Cooper Flag's a beast. Actually, Rhino, Corey, and I, and our director went to the Duke basketball, or I'm sorry, not the Duke basketball game, Cooper Flag's Montverde basketball game last year, and it was quite the spectacle. Cooper Flag is legit. He's looked really good from what I've seen on social media. I've got Duke winning it all. They're back to the ship, and I hope UNC wins 5 games next year.
Nailed it. Yeah, I haven't really tuned much into it at all. I think Duke has the best class. They're a little bit young, so we'll see. But if I was going with anyone right now, it would probably be Duke. Sorry, man.
It's okay. It's okay. He deserves it. Well, folks, that's it for episode 3 of Igor and Big Head. Rhino, I think, hopefully I say this every week. This was my favorite one. I thought we didn't have to be all sad about Florida State for a change. We were a little bit sad about the Jags, but it's the NFL. Like, it happens. You lose games. Every team's good. Good conversation, good questions. It was fun having Stefan on. I really enjoyed it, brother. So, any closing remarks from you?
I'm hyped for week 4. We're going to be on here for the first time with the Noles and the Jags win. We're going to be fired up and ready to go.
Oh, it's going to be so good. That's going to be the turnaround of this podcast.
Yeah. Shout out to our sponsor too. Only up from here.
Yep.
We're going.
It's only free till 100 subs, folks. So keep subscribing. Then we can start charging money for this shit. Please enjoy this rendition of just a very talented musician. He goes by the name Chadat, and God, he fucking rips the harmonica. So, folks, hope you enjoy this podcast. Maybe you're listening still. If you are, thank you. This was Igor and Big Head. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Whenever you're listening, have a great day. Bye.